It's Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. And it's mailbag time. We do these mailbags on our Wednesday live shows at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, where people send us questions. We react to them in real time. So, 12s, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way you, too, can make sure and join us for our next live show. That way you can get your questions on the show, and we'll answer them. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat. Let's go ahead and get started right away. Pablo with a $35 Super Chat. Pablo says, Tyler Jones, my birthday is coming up soon. Jackson Smith and Jigba is very good. First off, Pablo, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pablo. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Pablo, I hope you're having a great birthday, man. JSN is very good. I love Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he has potential to be a star in this league. Everything we've heard out of training camp so far to this point has been that he's looked the part, that he is going to be explosive, that he's going to be a huge part of this Seattle Seahawks team going forward. So I'm all in on Jackson Smith and Jigba. Pablo, I hope you're all in on him too, and hope you have a great birthday, my friend. JSN isn't going to let you down this season. The Chosen One writes in, hashtag Seahawks, do you think Lockett will be in the Hall of Fame? Okay, folks, don't get mad at me here, but you always ask for my honest opinions. And if we're going to be real with y'all, Tyler Lockett right now would not be a Hall of Famer at the moment. He would be in the Seahawks Hall of Fame, but he wouldn't be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tyler Lockett would have to get to a few more Pro Bowls, might need to get a Super Bowl ring. Tyler Lockett would not be a Hall of Famer at this point in time. Could that change? It could, potentially. He's put up really good numbers, but he hasn't been one of the elite receivers in the league. So would I love to see Tyler Lockett get recognized and get some love by the end of his career? Of course. But right now, he's not on pace to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but he would be in the ring honor there, at least for now. So, Chosen One, I like Tyler Lockett, but he's not there at the moment. That could change, though. We'll see. Malachi Craig, do you think Seattle could use D in the backfield the same way San Fran does with Debo? What is your opinion on that? Referred to Dee Eskridge, of course. The idea of him in the backfield of sorts, you know, I would think, and the Seahawks are very creative offensively, right? From what we've seen in the past with what Shane Waldron does with that offense and how explosive they've become, I would think that if they wanted to do that, they probably would have already done so by now with Dee Eskridge. I would not be opposed to trying out that possibility and seeing what the Seahawks could put together and if Dee Eskridge could be effective doing that. But I don't know if that's in the cards because the Seahawks, I'm sure, have had discussions about that, but we've never seen it come to fruition. So I'm not counting on it. We'll put it that way. Legion of Boom writes, would you rather trade for Josh Jacobs or Jonthan Taylor? That's a good question, Legion of Boom. Both guys could be gone from their teams within the next few weeks. Jonthan Taylor's got 1 year left on his contract. Josh Jacobs has got the franchise tag, of course. And they're in the same boat when it comes contract situation-wise of they want to get paid, but the running back market is just not being very kind right now to running backs at this point. So with that said, I'd rather have Jonthan Taylor. He's younger. I think he's a little more talented. I loved what he did at Wisconsin. He's a good pass catcher. Jonthan Taylor does it all well. I think he's slightly better than Josh Jacobs. I would go with Jonthan Taylor, but I don't think that you would go wrong with either guy. I'll preface all that and say, though, even though I'd rather have Jonthan Taylor than Josh Jacobs, as the Seattle Seahawks, you don't need a running back right now. I know that Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet got banged up, but you got Kenny McIntosh, DJ Dallas, other guys. That's why you've invested in that running back position to have depth. I wouldn't take either one because of the cost it would take. Pick a running back. Which one would you rather have? Josh Jacobs or Jonthan Taylor. Type J for Josh Jacobs. Type T for Jonthan Taylor. Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comments section. Either player you would like to see the Seahawks sign. Bo writes, will Geno be a one-hit wonder? That's kind of the million-dollar question I think a lot of folks want to know with Geno Smith. Was 2022 a fluke of sorts? Or is this here to stay? And I got to tell you, I think what we saw from Geno Smith last year was a step in the right direction. And here's why I don't think it's a one-hit wonder for Geno Smith. Okay, let me tell you why that is. When you got to this offseason, and when it came into putting in the work of being a top-level quarterback in this league, of the workouts, the OTAs, the film study and all that, all reports from the media and players and coaches were that Geno was doing what he needed to do to play at that level, that he was taking the extra step, that he was going the extra mile. So, no, I don't think Geno's going to be a one-hit wonder because it wasn't fluky to begin with, because he's doing the work that it takes to play at that high level. I think you're going to be impressed. Geno's going to be even better this year. Matthew writes in, we need Jake Bobo out there somewhere he could land. I think Jake Bobo is going to end up in the practice squad, which, isn't a terrible thing. The main thing is to have Jake Bobo around. I know people have thrown out the idea of him playing tight end potentially and all that, but Jake Bobo is slow. He's got good hands. He's a good receiver. But the Seahawks have a lot of depth at that wide receiver position. I like him. I think you're going to find him on the practice squad, and he might get his chance to play later on in the season, but I'd be surprised if he makes the 53-man. We'll see. Sydney writes in, Kenny McIntosh definitely be running back number 2 over Zach Charbonnet. Based on what? I mean, I know that Kenny McIntosh has looked good and has played well throughout camp to this point. I understand that side of things. But Zach Charbonnet used second-round pick on. And Zach Charbonnet was the better back by all indications. Now, Kenny McIntosh is a pretty decent receiver, sure, but there's nothing you can point to that says, other than just the fact that Zach Charbonnet is injured right now and Kenny McIntosh isn't, of why Kenny McIntosh would be running back number 2. So, no, I don't think if everyone's healthy, Kenny McIntosh is the number 2 running back. Could that change? Maybe down the road, but don't lose hope. Don't lose faith on Zach Charbonnet just yet. Folks, we got a great deal that we're offering right now. Seahawks hats are on sale. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. These are the brand new sideline hats that you're going to be seeing Seahawks players, staff, personnel wearing on the sidelines, and they come in all different forms, different shapes and sizes. We have the bowl cap style, we have the flat bill, and we have the throwback to the AFC days. We know the Seahawks are going to wear the throwback jerseys and everything. A lot of different options. These are just some of them. There's plenty more available at chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. And you can get these hats before the season begins as well. So what are you waiting for? Get yours now. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats to get yours today. Any of them, they're on sale now. You can get yours. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. Mr. Hall writes in, is it too late to trade for Chase Young? Mr. Hall, I don't think it is too late to trade for Chase Young. And the reason why is that as we sit here at the time of this recording on Wednesday, Chase Young still doesn't have an extension. He still doesn't have a deal of some sorts. And until there is a deal for Chase Young in place, then he's going to be on the trade market. Then he is an option potentially. So I think that's what you're looking at for the Seahawks, that if you want Chase Young, you can still get him. The window doesn't close until he gets a contract extension. And who knows, he might not even get that contract extension from the Commanders when it's all said and done. So, no, it is not too late to make a move for Chase Young. In fact, I would love to see them make a move for Chase Young as far as I'm concerned. Would you trade for Chase Young? Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comments section. If you would make a move for Chase Young or not. What do you think? Y for yes, in for no. The Wizard writes, why trade for a back when Dalvin Cook is a free agent? The Wizard, very good point. I'm not interested in trading for any running backs. I am not. I think I've made that point very clear. And Dalvin Cook, man, if let's just say for all intents and purposes, let's say that things aren't good with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet's out indefinitely right now. Kenneth Walker, of course, is week to week at this point. Let's just say things don't look good for either guy. Then go pay Dalvin Cook, and he could be your starting running back if those guys aren't going to be ready in time for the season begins, if that was the case. I agree. I wanted to sign Dalvin Cook if everything's okay. If it turns out that Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet is going to come back soon, then I'm not worrying about, spending the money on Dalvin Cook. But if things don't bode well for those guys and they aren't back, then yeah, maybe you do go ahead and sign Dalvin Cook. Last one, Hunter's crack. We'll leave it at that. That's there. Will the Seahawks win 12 games and snag the NFC West? Hunter, where's Hunter? Will the Seahawks win 12 games? I think they're going to be about an 11-win team. Can they snag the division? It is going to be awfully close. I would not bet on the Seahawks at the moment to win the division, but I'm not ruling out the possibility. I would give the Seahawks, I'd say they're about an 11-win team right now, and I'd give them about a 40% chance to win the division. It would be them or San Francisco. San Francisco is going to be tough to get past, but it's going to be competitive, come right down to the very end. What will be the Seahawks record this season? Chime in, tell us what you think in the comments section. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.